Hi guys! Today I am going to be sharing with you how I made this Country Girl Wreath. I had a request to make one from Jill, so this is what I came up with. For this wreath, you're going to need one bandana. You're going to need some ribbon with wire. You will need some yarn. You will need a hat. Now everything here can be found at Dollar Tree. You will need a strainer, some baby socks, a pinwheel, and the large size dustpan from Dollar Tree. You will also need some bamboo skewers and some rubber bands. And in the description box below, I will leave a materials list for you. So most everything I picked up at Dollar Tree. I couldn't find any yarn at my Dollar Tree or bandanas, so I picked those two things up at Hobby Lobby. You could paint your dustpan if you wanted to, if you're using a light colored bandana or fabric. But first you're just going to take your bandana, and you might want to iron it first. And also you will need some zip ties, I forgot to mention that. But just spread out your bandana across your dustpan. Try to center up the center of the bandana. Make sure you have the length like you like it, and it's equal on the left side and the right side. And just around the handle of the dustpan, just zip tie the bandana on tightly. At Hobby Lobby, the bandanas like this are only 99 cents. Okay, next you're going to be using your strainer, and this one came from Dollar Tree. And you're going to want to slide it in the dustpan handle as far as it will go, and you're going to want to zip tie and hot glue it in so it stays in place. So first I'm just zip tying my two things together, the strainer and the dustpan, and I just threaded it through the handle of the dustpan, then wrapped it around the strainer handle and secured it tightly with a zip tie. And then it's a little bit taller than I was wanting for my little girl, so I did push in the screen some so that it's a little bit shorter in length. And this does make a pretty big Country Girl wreath. So here I'm just kind of taking the handle of the dustpan and pushing it in the screen part. Okay, next I am removing the ribbon that came on this hat from Dollar Tree. And you'll need some ribbon with wire. And I did pick up this ribbon at Hobby Lobby, and right now it is 50% off, but you can use whatever kind of ribbon that you would like. Dollar Tree ribbon works perfect. So just hot glue a band around your hat. Just be very careful when you're using your hot glue. I am using Gorilla Glue hot glue and Gorilla Glue hot glue gun for this. And if you look Gorilla Glue up, it has really good reviews, and I've been really pleased with it. So I'm using Gorilla Glue hot glue. So just hot glue your band together, and now I'm tying a bow. So let out a small tail, make a loop. Keep it pinched tightly in your left hand. Go to the other side. Make another loop about the same size as your first loop. And sometimes you have to twist your ribbon to keep the design on top. So just go back and forth, trying to make the loops the same size on each side until you get the bow the size you want. Then let out a tail. And you'll want to have some floral stem wire close by. And I am using 20 gauge floral stem wire. And you can pick up the floral stem wire at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Dollar Tree, places like that. So make sure you get the center of the bow, get the wire tight around the center of your bow. Now I'm dovetailing the ends, so just fold your ribbon in half with the edges to the left side, go to the folded side, and cut away from the fold, and that makes the pretty V. And then you'll want to fluff the loops on your bow. Now you're going to take the wires and you're just going to thread them through the hat. So just find a spot and thread them through the little holes. Then once you have it threaded through, make sure you pull your tails forward. Don't pull it too tight. Now go to the inside of the hat and give the wires a few twists and cut off the extra part of the wires and fold them down. And so this is how it looks. Make sure you go back and add quite a bit of hot glue where you connected the dustpan and the strainer together. I added it under the handle and on top of the handle. Make sure you let it dry too. So that the dustpan does not show on the sides, you'll want to take your bandana and fold it toward the inside and hot glue it on the inside of your dustpan. Do the same thing on both sides, and if you think it needs a dot of hot glue on the bottom too, you can add a dot of hot glue on the bottom side on the left and right too. Just be very careful when you're using your hot glue. You might want to use your hot glue finger guards for this wreath. You will also need 2 skewers from Dollar Tree. Now you're going to take your pinwheel and just pull off 2 of the little petals. Mine just pulled out really easy. Now you're going to need a pair of baby socks, and I believe mine said stage 3, 12 months, and they're from Dollar Tree. Just slide the little petal in the sock and it fits perfect. Now I'm just going to take the skewer and find a spot on the little pinwheel petal, and I'm going to hot glue the skewer onto the little petal and then push the sock over it and let it dry. Dollar Tree has lots of colors of the baby socks, and also at Hobby Lobby, the 99-cent bandanas, they come in lots of colors and prints too. So this is how it looks with the skewers in. Now you'll want to trim them shorter, and you're going to make sure that your little feet show below your dress, and then you'll want to hot glue your skewers onto the dustpan and then let them dry. Before you glue, make sure that your socks show below her dress. Okay, now you're going to take your yarn, and we cut 50 strips of yarn at 15 inches for each braid. So 100 strips total. If you cannot find yarn at your Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby has yarn 30% off this week. So here we have 50 strips of yarn, 50 for the left braid, 50 for the right braid, and 4 rubber bands. My daughter braided her hair for me, so I thought she did a good job. Okay, so you have to kind of play with it to see where you want your braids to be on the little girl's back. So kind of measure and play with it before you glue anything on. And also when you put your hat on, you're going to want it to cover up the square top part of the dustpan. So kind of play with it before you glue anything down. So for my braids, about 7 inches was hanging below her hat. So that kind of gives you an idea. So you could do one single ponytail, or you could leave her hair down and not braid it at all. So there's all kinds of options for her hair. Okay, so now I'm just using some twine so that I can hang up the wreath. So I cut mine about 19 or 20 inches, and so I'm just using the little hooks on top of the strainer so that I can hang her up. On the little girl's hat, I took my hat and I hot glued the sides up so it looks more like a cowboy hat. And if you do that, you might want to cover the strainer with yarn. I did not cover my strainer with yarn, and I wish I had, and on the next one I will. But if you don't hot glue the sides up, then you should be just fine. But it does show the strainer some when you hot glue the sides of your hat up. I also had the thought of removing the mesh out of the strainer and just, using the ring of the strainer for my next one. So if you do that, please let me know how it works out. Before I added any hot glue on the strainer, we took a Sharpie and marked where we wanted the hot glue to go. So make sure you play with it before you actually hot glue the hat down. I have around $10 in my Country Girl Wreath, and I looked on Etsy, and the ones I saw ranged from $70 to $90. So these are very expensive on Etsy, and I have less than $10 in this one. So in the comment section below, let me know what you think of this Country Girl Wreath and if you plan on making one. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, it doesn't cost anything. Just click that button right below the video on the right that says subscribe. And if you want notifications for when I upload, just click the bell and YouTube will notify you when I upload a tutorial.